Welcome to Monday Night at the Races with Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series live from Daytona International Speedway, the granddaddy of them all, broadcast live on ETV Live. Calling the race for you tonight is Michael Keaton. He's joined by newcomer Devin Smirker and, of course, Dakota Ehrman and Ben Kilcrease keeping up with the activity tonight on pit road. Last week at Kentucky, R.J. Williams won the pole and would go on to pick up the trophy at the end of the night, leading the most laps. Points leader Landon Huffman elected to take the night off, giving Chad Cole a shot at closing the distance on Huffman, but Chad, starting the race in second row, he would fall 10 positions before the night was over for a 14th place finish, putting him just a little bit further behind Landon Huffman. So let's get ready to rumble, cowboy. Here are Michael Keaton and Devin Smirker.
Tell you what, Devin, and leaving right off from that, from last week's finishes, let's go ahead and go over the points as they stand right now, Devin. Landon Huffman being shown your point leader, and as JD said, Chad Cole still struggling in second, just 33 behind.
Guy Snyder currently third. He's only 4 behind Chad Cole for the second spot, and about 40 points behind him. We got John Abbott in that 4th spot.
And don't forget old Adam Roberts, who finished a solid 6th place last week, guys. He's sitting 5th in the points, and 6th outside him is going to be Joseph Hayes.
About 16 points behind him, we got Doug Roth, and behind him, 6 points back, Joey Katina.
And cracking the top 5 last week at Kentucky, 4th place finish, started 14th, Chad Schilling, and Jeff Addison, who started 21st, finishing in a devastating 27th place. He's 10th in points, guys. And I tell you, Devin, tonight is going to be a great night at Daytona, and I want to throw it down to pit road, starting with Dakota on the report of tonight's issues.
Well, I tell you what, Dakota's having technical difficulties. Guys, we're going to be covering down here on pit road where these guys are going to be coming in at 200 mile an hour. They're going to have to get slowed down to 55 mile an hour. You're not going to see much tires go on these cars here because it really doesn't matter. It's a super speedway. I mean, come on. All they're going to be doing is filling these things up with Sunoco race fuel and hoping to get to the end of this one without any scratches and or dents in their cars.
I tell you, Devin, and Ben, also, you know, with an issue, the green flag pit stops. Let's talk about this for a minute. Ben, when they're coming out of 4, if there's green flag pit stop conditions, and Devin, you got to kind of keep in mind, coming off that 4 embankment, you got to get that car slowed down, but at the same time, you want to keep your speed, keep your momentum going into the pits, but also there's that pit speed limit. And Ben, you could tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you what, I talked to some of the drivers before the race, and that's what they're worried about. That's where most, well, not really most crashes, but some crashes during the race happen when everybody's just trying to scramble to get on the pit road the fastest and not lose that much time. Some drivers are worried about it, some are the most cool they could be about it, and Mr. Smirker, he knows a little bit about these restrictor plate races. Devin, how do you do it?
Well, especially at Daytona with the shorter front straightaway, it's really important to get the car down onto the apron as quick as you can. Let everyone know around you that you're pitting, because if you don't, you got to slow down as soon as you get off turn 4. And you want to carry as much speed as you can into pit road, but you got to get down to, like you said, 55 miles an hour. So you got to be careful not to lock those brakes up.
And I also want to bring up, Ben, the fact about these cars, the overheating engine problem, and then the tandem car swapping.
Yeah, these guys, you know, it's work enough as it is going 200 mile an hour trying to race in these packs, I guess you could say. But when doing so, you got to be pushing the person in front of you, and while you're pushing them, you barely have enough time to look down. But when you do look down, you have to look at your gauges, and if they're flashing red, I mean, you got to say, hey, bud, we got to switch, or this thing's going to blow on up.
Yeah, I tell you, Devin, that's one thing that always gets me is that you got the oil to watch, you got the water temp to watch, you got the guy that's racing 3 wide above you or 2 wide above you, the guy that's right on your bumper. You're right in front of somebody, and you're having to do this all at, you know, 205, 207 miles an hour, Devin.
Oh, definitely. When you come to Daytona and Talladega, it's really your race is in the hands of the other drivers around you. I mean, of course, you got to be careful about yourself and when you want to swap. You push for about 3 to 4 laps, no problem. And you want, if you can, you want to do the swap into the entrance of a corner. And what the pushing car has to do is get underneath the car that's out front, and the car out front needs to dive back in line as quick as he can and get lined up with the car that was pushing him. And that's what can cause the trouble in the packs.
Yeah, I tell you, tandem racing, that swapping's really going to be interesting too, guys, because when you got that guy out in front of you and your car starts to blink and you got to do the swap, well, you're not the only one that's racing right there. I mean, you got a whole pack of guys behind you that's wanting to pass you, wanting to battle for the lead, and so you got to make sure that you kind of caretake them and do the swap, you know, almost perfect, because if you don't, then you'll get in everybody's way. It could cause a big pileup. So the tandem swap, the car swapping, is what I'm really interested to see here, guys, tonight. Not just the overheating of the engines, but the actual tandem car swapping. I can't wait to see if these guys have got that critique down.
What you're likely going to see tonight, which I've noticed, I've done a couple of these races this week. At the beginning of the races, you see about 3 or 4 tandems pull in front of the pack, and everybody else, either they try to just ride there and get to the end, or they can't find a partner, and you'll see guys running a pack, and you'll have guys get 2 or 3 seconds ahead of the pack. So when it comes down to the end of this thing, if you don't have a partner, you pretty much don't have a chance of winning this race tonight.
Absolutely. You got to have someone to draft with. You got to have someone to pit with if there's green flag conditions. If not, you're going to find yourself in the back, a lap down, possibly even out of the race early. So that's one thing to be looking out for. And we got 80 laps here, and 80 laps here tonight at Daytona, and it's going to shape up to be a big one as the guys are getting finished up with their qualifying, and crew chiefs making their last bit of adjustments there, Devin, getting those cars quite ready. And I tell you, it's going to be a good night tonight, Devin.
Oh yeah, beautiful 78 degrees, clear weather. Let's go ahead and throw it down to pit road for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alright, guys, we are back here, Devin, and I tell you, we're going to go ahead and these guys have got their queue times in the books. We're going to go ahead and bring you down the list. Starting on the pole tonight, guys, G. Allen Lewis with a solid 47.515, and outside him, no other than John Gregorio with a 47.523.
Behind them in row 2, you got Dwayne Vincent with a 47.524, and 3/10 behind him, you got Chris Schallenbarger, the number 35, who put up a 5.27.
And starting in row 3, in the number 5 spot, Kel Dresbeck. Outside him, R.J. Williams.
Next row, you got Steve Ritter, who ran a 5.36, and behind him, you got Bobby Terrell, who ran a 5.57.
Landon Huffman, points leader, starting ninth tonight at Daytona. Outside him in the 83 machine, Jay Horton.
Ronnie Potts starting the number 22 machine in the 11th position. Outside of him, the number 38 is Dane Horton.
Doug Roth in the 43 machine, rolling off 13th tonight. Outside him in the number 2, Matt Lacrosse.
Behind them in the 15th and 16th position, you got Jonathan Cadell and Jimmy North.
In the 17th position, the number 94 car, Jeff Addison. Outside Jeff tonight is going to be the number 5 machine of J. Randall Watkins.
Behind them, you got James Mullins in the number 81, and in the 20 car, you got Mike Montesi.
Behind that group of guys, you got Jason Elrod in the 70 and John Abbott in the Gatorade number 10 car.
And the number 06 rolling off in the 23rd position, you got Bruce Perry, and outside of him, the 25, you got Chris Schilling.
Tony Kaler bringing up the next row. Outside Tony is going to be the number 14 Chevrolet of Joey Gattina.
Next row, you got Adam Roberts in that 88 Mean Machine starting 27th, and outside of him, R.C. Rigdon in that number 19.
Navy's own Eric Arnold starting in the 29th position in that 47 Chevrolet, and outside him, everybody knows this guy in that yellow D-Walk Chevrolet, Chad Cole, who sits second points.
Rolling off 31st in the 27, you got Guy Snyder, and outside of him in the number 85, you got Nathan Bowers.
Starting 33rd in the number 33 car, David Lanza. Outside David's going to be Greg Netherwood in the 08.
In that number 56, rolling off 35th, you got Patrick Hahe, and outside him, you got Joseph Hayes in the 69.
In the final two tonight, Devin going to be starting 37th in that 46 machine, Randy Wells. Outside Randy's going to be Keith Brooks Jr. and Devin, they're going to be looking to bring it up from the rear. And Devin, I tell you what, there's no other place that I want to be at Daytona right now is exactly where those two guys are, Randy Wells and Keith Brooks Jr. What do you think?
Certainly there is no safe place at Daytona, but if there's a place you want to be, they want to be in the back. Of course, you don't want to be there at the end, but if you want to ride around for a while, get to the end of that race, then make your charge. You're going to see quite a few people do that tonight.
Yeah, you sure are, Devin. You're going to see a lot of guys hang out in the back, possibly break out to a first pack of racing, a second pack of racing. But I tell you what, that pace car is about to make that famous left-hand turn, Devin, and the number 4 of G. Allen Lewis is going to bring him to the green flag at Daytona International Speedway.
Number 4 gets a huge jump on the field. He's going to clear him, but here comes Dwayne Vincent, the 13. He's going to the bottom. So far, so good. Everyone laying off each other into turn 1.
Yeah, I'll take a look back through the rest of the field, Devin, and everybody got a pretty good start. And like you said, the 4 car kind of got a good start, but jumped up high. Looks like he's paired up with that number 1 machine of John Gregorio, who started outside him tonight. As they rocket down the backstretch, already tandem up, Devin.
Yep, leaders, all the front 4, they got a partner. Looks like that's who they're probably going to work with for the rest of the race. They know they're fast. They started up front. It looks like they're going to try and stay there as they rocket off turn 4.
Yeah, what's so hard here, guys, is trying to find that guy that you can work so well with. I mean, you know, you get up behind somebody who you're not really familiar with, and you're just not familiar with their line, so it kind of gets a little hairy for you. But a lot of these guys trying to find that guy just so they can hook up with for a little bit, possibly just to get to the front or to wherever their partner is or teammate is, Devin.
The 13 and the 45 have shut out ahead of the pack by about 5 to 6 car lengths down the back straightaway. We got some really good racing going on side by side for about the 5th, 6th on back position.
Yeah, guys still trying to make their spots and make their names known here tonight, but checking out from the front is Dwayne Vincent and Kel Dresbeck. Now they're out front, and they've got a pretty solid lead on G. Allen Lewis, who's your post hitter. But I tell you, G. Allen and that number 1 machine of John Gregorio's right back again at it. It looks like they're going to make the pass here going into 1, Devin.
Yeah, the 4-car looked to the outside, nothing doing right now. He's looking again in the middle of turns 1 and 2, nothing doing. So we're going to see if anyone else behind him can get paired up and catch these 4, but right now they are pulling away down the back straightaway.
Now, eventually the 45 is going to have to do that tandem swap that we talked about. As you can see, he's let off a little bit. You see how he's got that 1-car, 2-car gap there? That's allowing the 4 and the 1 to make their move on the outside, and also allowing that Landon Huffman racing machine in the 21 of R.J. Williams to the outside as they go 3 wide down the front stretch here early on at Daytona, Devin.
Yeah, the 4 and the 1 and shot out ahead of the pack. G. Allen Lewis and John Gregorio. After those 2 on the bottom became disconnected as the 4 and the 1 make the swap. You'll see that 4-car drop back in line if he can, and he will. Here comes the 21 and the 75 on the outside. They're disconnected.
Yeah, 75 of Landon Huffman there looked like he got a little bit choppy, possibly coming out of 2 there, but able to get back on the back bumper of RJ again going into 3 here. Now, Devin, I want to take a minute here and allow some time for the fans that's watching, some of their friends and family that doesn't understand this tandem swapping deal or the tandem thing. And I want to bring Ben in here. Ben, on the overheating of the engines, let's talk about that first. These guys got to remember that the overheating, and when that light starts to blink red, what normally happens is we see Landon Huffman get a little bit loose there, guys. Let's go back to that, Ben, in a minute. Huge wreck on the backstretch, guys. Yeah, 43 car I'm hearing, huge wreck.
I believe it started when the 16 got ran over. I'm not sure who it was on the outside. It might have been the 75. I am not sure. Somebody got into the wall. Not sure if it was netcode. But they fell back, and the 13 had nowhere to go, and it looks like the 13 just ran over him. Let's send it on over to John with the replay.
Yeah, let's see if we can see where this all happened here, guys. Had a pretty good start to this race. Oh, there it is. They tried to go 3 wide here, guys, and they just all tangled. I'm not quite sure whose fault it was. I mean, it happened all so fast. But big wreck at the start. There's 3 or 4 or 5, probably about 6, 7 cars. Wow, that's 16. I believe that's a 16 machine. He went rolling, guys.
If that's the 16, John, that's Steve Ritter, and a disappointing start of a race for Steve there. A lot of disappointed drivers probably right now, don't you think, Devin?
To get involved on a lap 5 wreck at Daytona is not too uncommon, as I was a little surprised about the tangos were really not as fast as the single cars, so the single cars were able to stick with those leaders who were shuffling a lot. So it looks like we're going to see some pack racing tonight, and you're going to have those guys try in tandem. So that's probably not going to be the first time you're going to see a wreck like that occur.
That's just Daytona there for you. And I tell you, going back and looking at my monitor, Devin, it looked like the 75 just checked up, the 16 checked up, and the 35 of Chris Schallenberger tried to get woed up, but just couldn't quite manage. Tagged the left rear of that 16, and the rest is history from there. And going to see if we got any takers on pit road, and I don't see any of the leaders coming down, but that doesn't mean midway through the pack, guys, Ben, that there's some guys coming in.
Yep, a few guys, and Huffman, Jay Horton, Chris Schallenberger. All these guys are going to come in and top off on fuel, maybe try and play a little fuel game with their competitors later in the race.
As expected, the leaders did not pit, but you got those guys that may or may not have been involved in the wreck back there that came in, top off with fuel, probably not get tires, because as we said earlier in the broadcast, tires do not mean anything at Daytona. So, yep, like expected, leaders stayed out, guys in the back came in.
Yeah, it's kind of too early, Devin, on lap 7. If you're a leader, I would say probably 10th on up or so. If you want to keep that position that you're in, you can't pit here. But the guys at mid-pack, they can afford to. You got some guys that had damage. You might have had some guys that flat-spotted their tires, braking for the wreck. Somebody spinning out that didn't make contact, but flat-spotted his tires and want to change them, or make an adjustment. So that's why these cautions are so good. There's so many different options for the guys that's running mid-pack towards the back to come in. All right, I tell you, caution at Daytona Speedway. We're going to go to commercial here, guys. We'll see you right back.
Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. All right, welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. We're here tonight with Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. John Gregorio still your leader, coming off of our first caution. G. Allen Lewis, Cale Dresbeck, Dwayne Vincent, Bobby Terrell, your top five. Let's take it back up to the booth with Michael Keaton and Devin Smirker.
Hey, welcome back. Just coming back from our first caution here, Devin, on lap 5. We were talking about pit strategy here. And before the wreck, we were talking to Ben about the tandem swaps. And Ben, is that one thing that we could be seeing some of these cautions happen? I saw that Landon Huffman went way high. Was that possible, a tandem swap?
Yeah, guys, it probably was, like you said, a simple tandem swap. But what happens when these guys pull out of line, it's like pulling a parachute in a drag car. I mean, these guys are going to be falling back, and it could get stacked up. It could cause a big one like we just saw. But yeah, you just have to keep an eye on your gauges, and you know, maybe you can shout out, you know, hey, we're going to swap this time, or you know. But if it could catch some of these people off guard and just have a bunch of people running into the back of it and causing a crash.
Yeah, as we saw, like we said earlier, the only reason you think maybe somebody up front would pit is seeing that first wreck happened mid-pack. So maybe someone was running mid-pack, realized maybe I don't want to be here. Maybe he might go jump to the back, but you're not going to see like Gregorio, Lewis, or those guys up front. You're not going to see them go to the back.
Right, and sometimes, though, you got to play that hand of cards that you were dealt, though, in a way, Devin, because I've ran probably 20 races this week at Daytona, and I tell you, in the lead, in last, in the middle, a quarter of the way up and a quarter of the way back, anywhere is not safe here, I think. Unless you're way off the field, way off the pace, then you are not safe.
Yeah, you really don't want to be there.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, Devin. It's like, you know, playing the car. You know, like one guy said it perfectly the other day. He said, you know what? If you're going to be in the wreck, you're going to be in the wreck. It's just that simple. And at Daytona, it is. I mean, you know, you're sitting there, you're racing, and all of a sudden somebody hits the wall up ahead of you or behind you, and you're just driving, and all of a sudden you get hooked in the right rear. There's nothing you can do about it. Dakota?
I was actually just going to say there is a way to avoid it. You're going to see some guys in here just kind of hanging way in the back. I mean, they're going to go seconds out of the draft. They're going to be looking for that caution in the end. That's going to be something you're going to have to watch out for those guys. They're not going to be showing everything they have. But I guarantee you, there's some guys back there. They're going to be waiting on that caution.
Well, Devin, I tell you what, we're about to get some more green flag action here as the #1 machine and J. Allen Lewis is going to lead them to the green here.
Pace car pulls off. John Gregorio gets a huge jump on the field. You can tell he was trying to get his buddy down there behind him, J. Allen Lewis. He's going to get right up behind him. Gregorio's going to drag his brakes a little bit into turn 1. It's going to allow the 4 car to suck up. And you'll see them tandem into turn 1.
Tell you what, G. Allen Lewis sitting there in second spot all over the back door of John Gregorio there. G. Allen Lewis sporting that Justin Brook designed Chevrolet race car, looking sharp going down the backstretch, Devin.
Right now, lap 10, everyone playing nice. I wonder if they saw that wreck and realized maybe it's a little too early to be racing that hard, as we see nothing but tandems about the top 10 as we see the 3rd and 4th place car drift up the track looking for something, but you just hit a wall of air. And there's really nothing you can do. Now they get a run off turn 4. Let's see if they go up high. This is number 4. No, they're going to stay in line.
And keep in mind, folks, if you're watching and just tuning in, we had a huge wreck back on lap 5 that probably consisted of about 10 to 12 cars, at least, involved in the wreck in some capacity. And 2, Devin, you got to think these guys just get back out on the track from having the cars repaired. They really don't know what kind of car the shape's in until you get it out there and go green flag racing. So that might be the reason why some of these cars are dropping off here that we see.
Yeah, you see the 45 and the 13. Dwayne Vincent has backed off the 45, but he's back now. That really allowed the 1 and the 4 car to stretch their lead, as you can tell as they come down the front straightaway. You see the top 8 consist of nothing but tandems, and back in the pack you got a couple cars running single file.
Yeah, single file racing here at Daytona. Just 12 laps into this 80 lapper here, and 1 caution already, but looks like things have settled back down here. And we're starting to see these tandems get to work.
Everybody trying to just hold their own right now. I mean, it's lap 12 of an 80-lap event, and everyone wants to win at Daytona. I mean, you know, maybe a Talladega or something. Maybe you try a little, or you wouldn't try as hard. You kind of not save your stuff, but everybody wants to show off here at Daytona.
I tell you, Joseph Hayes just falling victim there, Devin, to a lap down. Only 30 cars being shown on the lead lap right now, and those 2 cars, Matt LaCrosse and James Mullins, are 17 seconds down from the leader, so they're quite ahead of the leaders right now. But Adam Roberts 1 lap down, Randy Wells is showing 3 laps down. I believe Steve Ritter, who took an e-ticket ride on that caution on that last wreck, is sitting 5 laps down as we got a battle for the lead.
The 4 and the 1 made lap in turns 1 and 2. And the 4 and the 1 couldn't get hooked up on the bottom. The 4 came up high, and that allowed the 45, and I believe that's the 13 still pushing them to shoot out ahead as the 4 and the 1 will get back in line in the 5th and 6th position.
Now keep in mind, folks, the 1 and the 4 just made a tandem swap, so now the 1's got that cool engine. He's going to push the 4, who is just overheating a little bit, back towards the front as they work the 33 of Lanza and the 27 of Guy Snyder going into 1 here.
They're beginning to make their, I guess you call it a recharge to the front as the 45 and the 13 might be getting knocked. They've disconnected. That's going to allow the 1 and the 4 to shoot up, and here they come with a head of steam. Holy cow, here comes the number 4.
Rocketing down the backstretch, Devin, 205, 206. It just clicked down into turn 3. The 45 and the 13 been tandem for too long. They're probably running hot, and that's what allowed the 4 back to the lead, a recharge, if you will. Like you said momentarily ago, the number 1 car pushing the 4 to the lead at lap 15. I tell you too, Devin, going back here where I left off, Jeff Addison, 8 laps down, he had some contact in the pit with somebody earlier, and he's 8 laps down, and Jay Randall Watkins, disappointing 36 right now, also 8 laps down.
Yeah, when we were on commercial break, the 88 and the 94 did make contact on pit road. 88 is currently 1 lap down, and the 94, Jeff Addison, is 8 laps down as we got another tandem swap. Here comes number 1 underneath the 4. The 4 car is going to get underneath. He's going to get back in line behind the 1, or is he? Here comes the number 45. Here comes the number 27. Everybody, 3 wide for the lead at Daytona.
I tell you, Devin, 2 deep, 3 wide for the lead at Daytona, the 45, way underneath the apron. Everything's going to shake back out here in 1, though. Kind of making it exciting here early, huh, Devin?
And if everyone's that excited, we ain't seen nothing yet. 'Cause we're only on lap 16 here at Daytona. Plenty of time left to go. Hoping these guys can keep racing like they are. We've seen some pretty wild racing this week, and these boys are living up to expectations.
I tell you what, Chad Cole restarting that caution in the 14th position has worked himself up to the 7th spot. As he actually him and the 85 there, Nathan Bowers is teamed up here. They just made a tandem swap, so look for them to build some sort of recharge to get back out front. But meanwhile, your race leader being shown right now, Guy Snyder, and that Budweiser number 33 of David Lindsay.
If you remember back to the restart, we saw nothing but tandems. Everyone is spread out, minding their own. About 5 laps later, we're one big pack again here at Daytona. 27 with 33 right in tow. Here comes lap traffic. Lap traffic's making a swap of their own into turn 3. This is going to be dangerous.
Oh gosh, Devin, 3 wide into 3. You ain't kidding. A tandem lap car down swap here in turn 3. Everybody kind of gets by smooth. And 2 more lap cars coming up here. One dives down into pit road. One way up high in the tri-oval just at the start-finish line. That's Eric Arnold.
Yeah, the boys did a real good job. Lap cars got out of the way like they're supposed to. Everyone went low. Everything's smooth so far as they passed the number 47. No problems at Daytona with the lap cars. Clear racetrack ahead of the leaders. Guy Snyder still leads with that 33 right in tow.
And just being put down again, a lap down is Matt Lacrosse, James Mullins, and you heard earlier minutes ago Joseph Hayes being put a lap down. So that puts 20. Oh, and Eric Arnold was just put a lap down. So that puts 27 on the lead lap here, Devin.
Yeah, we got 27 cars in the lead lap. We have 14 cars in the main pack. Any one of those 27 can win. But right now, it's these 14 duking it out with just over 60 laps to go. As we got a battle for the lead, it looks like the 45 and the 13 are making a charge.
3 wide, Devin, as they do a swap into 1 here. The 45 a little bit on the outside wall there. No problem, no foul. He gets back in line. And but that's going to kill the run on the outside as the 4 and 1 now get hooked up. And now they're pushing 3 wide on the backstretch for the lead, Devin, into 3.
27 to 33 are going to have to swap soon. The 1 and the 4 just swapped. So they're in good shape. They'll probably end up being your leader the next couple times around at this rate. As the 45 got into the wall, I'm not sure what happened there. But the 1 and the 4 is shot out ahead of the pack. It looks like they've cleared the 27.
Yeah, I tell you, that 33 probably seeing the same color of his car, that red glow in his car, that oil or that water's probably blinking at him as he's about 1 car length off the 27. Now here comes someone else on the high side. That's the 13 and the 45. The 45 belongs to Kel Dresbeck, and the 13 is Dwayne Vincent. They're trying to make a charge on the outside.
At 27 and the 33 have not yet to make a swap. They become disconnected, and that allowed the 13 and the 45 to get a run. The 13 will clear the 27 into 3, but the 45 looks like he won't. As the 1 and the 4 continue to lead, you see the 13, the 45, the 1 and the 4 have worked together since lap 1, so it's pretty much certain, unless something happens to them, those are going to be your guys at the end.
And like you mentioned earlier, 14 cars here on lead pace. You got in the 15th spot is Tony Kaler. He is part of Huffman Racing. Not sure if that car's got some damage or if he's just... Oh, getting word, Devin, that one just blew up in.
Yeah, guys, the 4 car of G. Allen Lewis pushing a little bit too far, and now his partner Don Gregorio is falling back.
Oh, Devin, wow, that's a tough break for G. Allen Lewis in the lead, pushing John Gregorio, and that thing just snapped. Ben mentioned that he blew up John Gregorio without a dancing partner for now. I'm sure he'll get one later, but that car just snapped in. And Ben, will this bring out a caution? The 4's coasting here. Not sure if he's going to be able to get around to the pits or not.
Guys, I'm not sure if it'll bring out a caution or not. If most likely, if he does not make it to the pit road, he'll probably just go ahead and exit on out.
Devin, the 43 stuck on the outside wall, allowing the leaders to go by. He's a lap down. and trying to get that car under control. He finally does, skidding through the grass a little bit, but back out front, Devin, your race leader, number 45.
The 27 and 33 are looking on the outside, but they're going to make the swap. And Michael, I'm going to ask you this. So, the 45 and the 13 disconnect, and they're 3 wide per second as you got 2 cars trying to make the swap, and you got 1 car on the apron. That's a recipe for disasters. They're still 3 wide down the back straightaway.
And the 13 going to make better of it there, Devin, as he gets back in line. And the 33 machine looks like he's wanting to hook up with a 27.
That 33 has got a run on the outside. That Budweiser car looks like he's going to head. I don't know if he's going to clear him, but he's going to lead the lap with a big push from the 27. Here comes the 14, and I think that's an 84.
Yeah, that's Jimmy North and that Lowe's Never Stop Improving Chevrolet as they're rocketing down the backstretch 203 miles an hour. But I want to tell you, Devin, that these guys are really putting on a show here tonight with the RSR Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series.
Michael, I'm going to ask you a question. Gregorio lost his partner. What is going through his mind right now? Is he just trying to ride, or is he going to try and find somebody else to hook up with for the end?
Oh, he's probably just as devastated as G. Allen Lewis is probably right now. Him and G. Allen had worked together since the beginning of the race, and 24 laps in, trying to find another dancing partner. As I believe Jonathan Cadell probably going to hook up with him here. He's probably thinking, all right, who do I go to next, kind of thing,
Definitely. It's the 33 and 27 are your leaders. They're disconnected at the moment as the 84 and the 14 look to swap, and they couldn't get lined up, and the 84 and the 14 are going to go to the back of this lead pack as that traffic minds their business on the bottom. Good job there. But single file for the top 6 at Daytona right now is the 88 and 14 I think that's the 84 and the 14 get hooked up together on the outside.
Yeah, being shown a lap down now. We mentioned Eric Arnold moments ago. Doug Roth now being shown a lap down. Mike Montesi being shown a lap down. Jay Horton also being shown a lap down. I think he just went a lap down. And Dane Horton and Chris Schallenberger right now sitting on the bubble here. They're 39 seconds away from the leader here.
And if you remember on the first yellow, most of the leaders, they did not come down pit road. And I'm trying to throw it down to Ben here on pit road. Ben, what is the fuel window here at Daytona?
Well, guys, some of these drivers are going to push it as long as they can go, which could be somewhere upwards in the 40s, 45, somewhere around there. But most of these guys are going to try and pit under cautions here if they can, because, like we mentioned in the pre-race, that transition off of the racetrack onto pit road is so tricky.
Yeah, I tell you, Ben, with 80 laps here tonight, and you've got 45 laps on green conditions, you're going to have to push it to 40. I mean, you got to, because if there's no more cautions, then you're relying on something to kind of with false ground here. You can't just think there's going to be a caution. You gotta pit when you gotta be smart about it. Dakota?
Yeah, guys, and something you might see is trying to be smart with it. Guys can come down pit road earlier, get that fuel tank full of fuel, and then get that back end down, and that they can just take off from the rest of the field. They make up time when everybody else is stuck switching. They're back in the pack. That tango they're just making up so much time, that tandem, that they're able to pull up about maybe 9 seconds before the leaders, so the whole pack actually pits, and that could be another winning move tonight.
Speaking of winning moves, Dakota, lead change back up front. Guy Snyder over the 33 as the 19 takes the lead coming out of 4. 3 wide down the front stretch, guys, with lap down traffic getting out high of the way.
Lap traffic continues to do what they're supposed to do. Get out of the way. Let the leaders duke it out. It's the 19 and the 1. Oh, that is the one. That's John Gregorio pushing that 19. The 19's showing some muscle. You know that number 1 is fast. But look at that number 19 car go.
I tell you what, I think John Gregorio just found him with dancing partner, huh, Devin, in that RC Rigdon lime green Chevrolet.
That number 19 car started way back in the number 28 position, and he's already up here. He's going to be in second as they make the swap. The one looks like the 19 is going to get low. He will, but the 27 and I don't know if the 33 is still with him, but the 27 is going to look to the outside. Not sure if he's going to do much, but he's going to get there. It looks like the 27 is going to lead this lap.
Yeah, 27 getting it done, and the 19 and the 1 working together. But Lanza has also been strong week in, week out here, Devin. That David Lanza and that Budweiser Chevrolet has always been strong as they're trying to work themselves around Bruce Perry, who might be led down here.
The number 19 car got sideways as he tried to push the 1 car into the corner. He's going to lose at least a spot or 2. But besides the front 4, everything's been pretty calm for the last about 15 laps here at Daytona. Boys doing their job, setting up for a crazy finish at the end. Typical Daytona.
I'm going to tell you something, Devin. I'm going to step out on a limb here. And these RSR Full Throttle Cup Series guys, Real Sim Racing in this league right here, you see how the lap traffic's acting. I mean, they're getting out of the way. There's a lot of give and take here. And I'll tell you what, if you're out there watching this race right now and you're looking for a league to get in, I'll tell you what, get hooked up with this league. RSR Full Throttle Cup Series, they run every Monday night, I believe, and we really enjoy broadcasting for these guys. They always put on a great show, and Devin, as you can tell, this race has been a fabulous one. They're up front racing side by side, giving and taking, and a lot of lap traffic coming here though out of 4 here, Devin.
Out of turn 4, and the leaders start to clear the lap traffic, minding their P's and Q's. Lap traffic goes to the high side, and everybody's racing really clean. So I give big props to these league members. Looks like a fun league to be in. Respectable drivers. That's all pretty much you can ask for to go along with great racing up front.
Tell you what, just made mention of Jay Horton and or actually Chris Schallenberger and Dane Horton. I'm not sure if there's any relation with Jay there, but nonetheless, Chris Schallenberger and Dane just got swallowed up by the leaders there. They are 1 lap down, and Bruce Perry, who I mentioned that was on the backstretch there down low, he just got put a lap down. And Keith Brooks Jr., I believe, Devin just went a lap down.
Indeed he did. It's a 27 and a 33. Looked like they wanted to swap on the back straightaway, thought better of it, but it absolutely killed their momentum as the 1 pushes. Oh, the 1 kind of gets the wall there, but it looks like they're going to clear the 27, at least the 19 does. So they'll give the lead to the number 19 car of R.C. Rigdon as the 45 and the 13 start to wither down to the bottom. Here comes the 71. The 71 is a lap car, so you're seeing about 3/4 of lead lap cars, and everybody else in this main pack is at least a lap or 2 down.
You know what that 1 car was doing, Devin?
What's that, Michael?
He was just taking him a souvenir with him. Getting a piece of that concrete in turn 1.
Oh, all right, I got you, man. That's pretty.
That's all that was.
Yeah, the 45 is gonna go. It looks like, is that the 45 up there? Oh yeah, it is. 45 and the 13 back to the lead. As I don't think we have a swap. Nope, the 1 and the 19 are gonna swap. If for some reason the 19 cannot push the 1 up there, but the 1 has absolutely no problems pushing the 19 up to the lead, that just proves how much horsepower is underneath that number 1 machine of John Gregorio.
Great group of guys here out front. Devin, 45 leading the race. That's Dress back behind him. Dwayne Vincent and that RaceSkins.com Chevrolet there as they're coming up on lap traffic. 1 belonging to the Huffman Racing team of Jay Horton and the 47 of Eric Arnold. Up and out of the way, though, Devin.
Yep, continuing the trend. Lap traffic gets out of the way, letting the leaders duke it out. Looks like all the lap cars are trying to head onto the back of this lead pack. Just in case something happens, maybe they can sneak through if there's a wreck or the leaders pit and get the wave around.
Speaking of pitting, Devin, 35 laps into the book out of 80. We've been told that pit stops should be taking place anywhere between 38 and 45, and I'll tell you, if you pit on 38, you're going to run out, but stretch it out probably 40 to 45, and you can cut this thing in half, Devin, and pit.
I think these guys will have absolutely no problems making it to the end if we stay green, because we did have that yellow, and that allowed them to save an extra 3 to... Alright, as I was saying, you got the yellow and those guys up front that did not pit got an extra 3 to 4 laps, and those guys that did pit got an extra 8 to 10. So we got 3 wide for the lead. Is that 84 shoots up the middle? He's gonna go to the lead. What a move up the middle!
I tell you, Devin, that's the magic side draft of Daytona. Jimmy North going for the lead out of 4.
45 hanging pretty. Oh, look at the 1 is actually pushing the 84. That 1 car is pushing everybody up to the front. It looks like if you're going to beat anyone's here tonight, it's going to be John Gregorio.
I tell you, John Gregorio, he doesn't care who he runs with. He just wants to be out front. The guy's been out there all night. He's pushing the 84. Jimmy North just made one impressive run in the middle. He had that side draft to the left, the side draft to the right. Gapped it up, went straight for the lead, and now number 1, John Gregorio's pushing him.
Yep, the 84, Jimmy North, John Gregorio have absolutely no problems getting by the leaders. The number 1 car is just packing so much horsepower. I don't know what it is about that setup, but he's able to pull everyone through the corners and then use that side draft down the straightaways to just muster by everyone. And if you're lucky enough to get hooked up with the 1, that's who I want to be hooked up with at the end of this race. So right now you want to be buddies with that 1 car as they make a swap into turn 1.
Now, folks, if you're just joining us, we've had 1 caution that was back on lap 5. About 30 laps ago, 31 laps ago, took about 10 to 12 guys out of the race, and that's the reason for 20 guys being shown a lap down. So, we're going to send it on down to Race Central with JD.
All right, tell you what, green flag pit stops coming our way, but first I want to tell you about the VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Cockpit. Bob Earl Racing sponsoring the race here tonight at the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, a simulation racing cockpit designed by a championship race car driver, Bob Earl, who understands what it means to have a comfortable racing seat. The design features a fully adjustable racing seat and frame, additional monitor stand and shifter mount sold separately, a high-quality, affordable alternative to others that cost thousands of dollars. $349. Check it out. BobEarlRacing.com. Now let's go back to the booth with Michael Keaton and Devin Smirker.
That 1 car with an unbelievable save in turns 1 and 2, but unfortunately it looks like the 71 was not so lucky. I don't know how the number 1 saved that car, but we got a yellow flag here at Daytona, lap 38. 39, excuse me.
Man, I tell you, Devin, that took the 71 out, the 13, 85. John, you got more on the E-play?
Yeah, let's see if we can cue this up, guys. See what happened here. It was on a pretty good run here. There's a 3rd car up there against the wall. I don't know if this caused this or not. It didn't. So 71's going to fly right by him. See if we can cue this up, see exactly. Oh, it looked like it was a bad bump draft between the 31 guys and the 33 and the 71.
John, I tell you what, that 1 of John Gregorio, he just tapped the 27 there, and Devin, not sure why that car got just wicked loose, but the 1 show got wicked loose.
Yeah, that happened to me too in an A race. I think it was my 3rd race this week, and I was just going ahead pushing this car to biding my time, and I touched him in the middle of 3 and 4, and it just shot me to the apron. Wasn't as fortunate as the 1. I wasn't able to save it, but I was fortunate enough not to get anyone else involved. But the 71 and among others involved here at Daytona.
Yeah, Devin, speaking of 1 involved, Kel Drasback, who's led a couple of laps here tonight in that sharp-looking Shunt Works Ohio-made white whiskey Chevrolet. Ben's got more on him.
Yeah, tough break with right there.
Yeah, it looks like smoke, but well, I'm looking at the smoke pouring out of that back there, Ben, is what I was looking at, the smoke coming out of that 45 machine.
Yeah, I'm going to run down here and see what exactly is going on with the 45.
All right, but meanwhile, 45 getting that car worked on. We got some guys pitting there, Dakota. Leaders are down pit road.
Everybody coming down. I'm seeing some 2-tire stops, especially with the 17 who started 30th. He was all the way up into the top 10 guys. Watch out for that 17 machine because he's coming to the front.
And I tell you, John Gregorio, one that we just mentioned, he got in that wreck. He's got a little bit of rear damage. I'm thinking that the crew could probably work out the kinks in that car. We'll get more on that. We'll see if he's up to speed when we go back green. Eric Arnold's coming down pit road. A lot of guys being worked on right now. A lot of guys trying to stay out to get that lap back.
Yeah, it looks like you got the 16, the 06, 23, 24, all sorts of cars staying out. They're going to try and play a little strategy here. They're taking a real gamble to get their lap back on fuel, so we'll see what happens here. Looks like we're halfway at Daytona.
Yeah, halfway here at Daytona. Ben, you got some more on pit road?
Yeah, guys, Kel drives back. Didn't know exactly what happened. You said his car was smoking. I had to go check out with the crew chief, and it happens that he was actually got into a 13 car, I think they said. Dwayne Vincent. It got into him during that crash, and the damage sustained in it ended up retiring that motor for tonight.
Yeah, and taking a look at the pit crew of the 84 machine, 6.9 second stop with no tires. He must have been slap out of gas, huh, Devin?
Looks like he just wanted it up front, because that is the place to be. We're about halfway through. You don't want to necessarily hang at the back. You don't want to lose that draft, because we don't know if there are going to be any more yellows.
I tell you, I think I heard the back door just opened up. But before we get to the gas, we're going to go to commercial here, and we'll be right back, guys.
MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers. Hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadionetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude. All right, welcome back, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, a night of racing here for Real Sim Racers Full Throttle Cup Series. Working our second caution of the night here at Daytona International Speedway. But I'll tell you what, enjoy the after show, a 24-hour network featuring reruns of ETV Live's top racing events, and don't miss our weekly series with Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series on Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern, and the Friday night showdown at 8:30 Eastern. ETV-eplay.net, Cowboy, that's where it's at. Let's go back to the booth with Michael Keaton and Devin Smirker.
I tell you, JD, I tell you guys who that was on the back door was Dakota Ehrman. He had knocked on the door wanting some cookies. Devin?
It looks like we got one to go as the cars are on the back straightaway heading up into turn 3. Curious, does anyone know what the 10 car did on pit road? As he is the leader, so up there with the 70 car.
I believe he stayed out as I rewound myself back past 39, and he did not pit, I don't believe, Devin. So John Abbott is being shown your race leader, and Jason Elrod, believing he did the same exact thing, following in the footsteps of the number 10. He's been working with him all race here, looks like.
As these boys get ready to roll off turn 4, get ready to take the green flag Daytona once again. Curious to see how the number 1 car rebounds. He didn't hit anything, but he slid the car pretty good. Might have done a little damage to that splitter. We'll see here as we come to take the green, Michael.
Yep, the number 10 car, John Abbott, first time out front. Gonna get a lap here, guys, under green as he takes them down the 70, right next door on the outside as we're green flag here at Daytona International Speedway.
Not sure what the 70 car was doing on the restart. Looks like he was trying not to beat the 10 car to the line, but he's going to fall back almost outside the top 5 already as we head into turn 1. The 10 car is clear of the 84. Looking to make it 3 wide as the 70, but he's not going to do it. All is well right now, turn 2 down the backstretch.
Yeah, Joey Gatina, a name that we haven't seen up front here. He's made his name known now. He's knocking on the back door of the 70, trying to get hooked up with somebody as Landon Huffman makes his way through the field. He's sitting in a nice spot right now.
10 and 17 are hooked up. They are pulling away, but the 17 ducks back out of line. That's Chad Cole. And it looks like something's going on with the 10 car. He's coming down pit road with the number 70.
Yep, that's John Abbott 70. They are pitting now here at lap 45. Dakota Ben working magic on that. Not sure what's going on there. But the 21 of R.J. Williams and 18 now, Devin, moving through the field. That R.J. Williams and that 21 with a new scheme here. That's a Huffman Racing teammate. But he's floating that new scheme here, guys. And Dakota, you got more on the pit there?
Yeah, guys, he stayed out to lead a lap. He convinced his teammate to stay out with them. They went in, so they were hopefully sure they can make it on fuel when they went in. They think they're good, and that was just kind of a schedule stop for them, and they also get some bonus points out of it.
Okay, I tell you, bonus points. Hey, I tell you, Devin, bonus points can win you championships. I tell you, just like in football, defense wins championships. I tell you, being conservative and getting those bonus points, going after any point you can get, wins championships.
Yeah, the 88 and the 14 have shot out ahead of the pack, and the 27 and the 33 are hooked together. They've been together all race, so expect them to see them together at the end of this thing. As Chad Cole looks like he's all by himself, but he's lonesome as we see some pack racing once again at Daytona.
Looking back here in 11th position, that black Mid-South Chevrolet hooked up with the number 22 of Ronnie Potts. They've made their way towards the front here. Big group of guys pack racing here at Daytona as they rocket down the front stretch, 202 miles an hour.
Front forward definitely looks like they're pulling away a little bit, but that's because they are in the tandems. As you see, the 10 and the 70 who just came off of pit road on the bottom, and 14 and the 84 make the swap. The 14 is yet to make his way to the high side. Now he gets there, and the 27 and the 33 going to take the lead down the back straightaway as the 10 and 70 lap cars holding their own.
I tell you, the 70 and the 10 in danger here, guys, of going a lap down. And Guy Snyder, is he going to play nice? Is he going to go high? It's going high here, but his teammate David Lanza leaves him out to dry as a 70 and 10 hanging on the lead lap down the front stretch.
That 70 and the 10 are definitely liking what they've seen. If they get a yellow, they are right back in the thick of it. They are for sure good on fuel. Looks like everybody is good on fuel, but they got that bonus point. If they can get a yellow, they can get up there and maybe challenge for the win. They look pretty fast right now, Michael.
Joey Katina from 26 to first, started the race in 26, guys. Oh no, his teammate just hit the wall, 84th Jimmy North, but he's okay. Just kind of got a little souvenir there, like I mentioned earlier. That's all that is, Devin. Just a souvenir. Take home to the kids.
Just a souvenir, Michael. The 1 and the 19 are working their way through the middle. They hooked up earlier in the race. That's John Gregorio and the number 19 towing along. R.C. Rigdon is they have a lap car. Going to have to go low on him. He stays out of the way. Nice job on his part.
Yeah, 88's up high. Adam Roberts doing a fabulous job staying out of the way there. Knows that those guys are a little faster. 88's got damage. He's still high. The whole lead pack gone by now, but keep in mind the 10 and 70 are on the lead lap, but just by a hair. David Lanza making it happen on the outside. Going to put him a lap down. Devin 3 wide into 3.
At 27, Guy Snyder is all over that 33, as they are the leader. They are not passing the leaders. They were already the leaders. They're passing those lapped cars. This is 27. Doors that number 70. Not sure what that was all about, but the 33 shoots out ahead of the pack, and they are 3 wide for second at Daytona.
Tell you what, got that lime green 19 machine outside the dry. No help from him. Chad Cole looking like he's going to tuck up under John Abbott. And 70 getting it a little loose, Devin. Everybody's woeing up.
What a save. I think that's number 70 on the bottom trying to get hooked up with the 10. Saves it, prevented maybe a huge wreck at Daytona. Nice job on his end.
Yeah, right there in front of the leaders, guys. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, David Lanza, your race leader at Daytona, tandem swapping with Guy Snyder, who's now your race leader. Chad Cole starting 30th tonight. He's just riding there, sitting in 4th spot right now, trying to stay in the lead draft here, guys.
At 27-33, had over a second lead half a lap ago. It is down to about half a second. That lead is now gone. The 1 and the 19 have the momentum, but the 1 and 19 have to swap. Not sure when the 70 and 10 are going to swap, but the 1 is going to have to go high. Oh! Man, the 19 tries to down in front of the 70. I'm not sure why he did that. I guess the spotter didn't tell him there's a car down low. A little bit of smoke, but no wreck at Daytona.
Man, I tell you what, being shown another lap down here, the 45 machine, just now being put a lap down, excuse me. He's back on the track, just racing for points, but I tell you, tough break for Kyle Dresbach, guys. He was up in the front, started in the front, towards the front there, and in 5th place, and I tell you, a bad end to his night here, sitting in 19th, Devin.
And it looks like Bruce Perry in that 06 came down pit road. It looks like it took 2 tires. Not sure what that was all about, but he's getting the speed build up on the apron in 1 and 2.
Saw a little smoke come from that RC Rigdon machine there in turn 1 on lap 52 there. Looked like the 1 got a little loose. That's who the smoke come from. John Gregorio got a little loose and built up some smoke, but he got it back under control, sitting in 3rd. But the 21 coming out of nowhere to take over that number 3 position, Devin.
That 27-33 have an absolutely unbelievable, huge lead. I don't know what that came out of. We haven't seen anybody been able to pull away like they have. They have over a 2-second lead on the pack.
Well, I tell you, they got that tandem swap probably down pretty good. You know, tandem swap's so important. I mean, when the guy, you only see tandem swaps in the going into the turns, in turn 1 and then turn 3. You don't ever see a tandem swap coming out of the turns. You don't see a tandem swap on the back stretch, and those guys probably doing a real fabulous job tandem swapping together.
It looks like they're going to have about a 3-second lead. Just because they're tandeming, you got those guys in the pack who are not hooking up with each other at the moment, as we see they're trying to, but it looks like the leaders are consistently about a mile an hour or 2 quicker than the pack, as the 21, or excuse me, the 27 looks underneath the 33. They're going to swap, just like you said, in the corner. 33 will get back in line, and he'll push the 27 down the back straightaway.
All right, John Abbott here just gotten put a lap down with his teammate Jason Elrod that he was working with. The Wayne Vincent being shown, the guy on the bubble here, 15th spot. Dwayne Vincent got into a little bit of accident in 39, Devin. On lap 39 there. And he is looking like he's going to be falling victim here unless a caution comes out to a lap down here, guys. So 14 to 15 guys being shown on the lead lap here at Daytona International Speedway. Okay. I tell you, Dakota, you got a copy down there? You got your headset on pit road? Ben? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get Dakota up here in the booth, and I tell you, we're gonna go over some facts here with this 10 and 70s deal. But meanwhile, back up front, David Lanza and the 27, Guy Snyder checking away as they're coming up on lap traffic. They do a tandem swap here in 1 and 2. And Dakota, you got that headset on now, boy?
Yes, sir.
I tell you, Dakota, we got some fine racing up here. The 33 and the 27 taking a huge lead back here to second and third, and that's going to be John Gregorio and Joey Gattina.
Yeah, I mean, look at that 2.5 second lead almost. And I mean, it's just like I was talking earlier. When the cars pit, when they go down pit road, if they pit earlier than the rest of the field, they're going to make up a whole lot of time if they're just tangoing instead of being in that pack. And that's what they're doing right now. If they're up front and they're just in that tandem, they're going a lot faster than just not being hooked up in that pack.
And I tell you that the 10 and the 70, they're being shown quite just barely a lap down here. But Guy Snyder and David Lanza, like you said, a 2.5 second lead over the field. And the 33 and the 27 leading the field as we go to commercial here, guys. We'll see you right back in a second.
MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers, hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. Welcome back. We are at Daytona International Speedway tonight. Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series tonight. Cowboy working a couple of cautions here at Daytona under the lights. So a lot of sheet metal scattered to and fro here on the track. Let's take it back up to the booth with Michael Keaton and Devin Smirker.
I tell you, Devin, just 2 cautions, guys. If you're just joining us, lap 5 we had a huge caution. Lap 39, a semi-big caution, and we're back green here with about 20 to go here, Devin. And David Lanza and 27 of Guy Snyder out front have built up a 3-second lead over RJ and Landon Huffman.
Yeah, indeed they have, and apologies for my technical difficulties, a little bit out of my control here, but as we get back to the racing, yeah, the 33 and the 27 have been able to pull away, and they have held it. We still got the pack racing going on, and the one car is fast, but he doesn't know who to hook up with. It looks like he's got the 19 behind him, But I know if that one car can get up there, he will be a force to reckon with.
Aside from the front two pulled away from that second pack here, Devin, you got pretty much third all the way back to 13th in a pack, and then Tony Kaler and part of that Lennon Huffman racing team, he's sitting 14th, last person on the lead lap. He's 12 seconds. He's running by himself, got a little damage from an earlier incident, but nonetheless, a little pack of racing here with 18 to go.
Not sure what happened with the 17 of Chad Cole, but he got under the apron there, and he has lost the main pack. I'm pretty sure that isn't strategy. Yeah, that's not good with just 18 laps to go. But you see, the 27 to 33, their lead is actually down to 2.5 seconds now. Still an unbelievable lead as here comes Gregorio, 3 wide up the middle. Oh, and the 84 and the 1 make contact, collects the 14, 18 avoids it. No, the 1 car, the 22, the 25. That's just, that's Daytona, Michael.
I tell you, that come out of nowhere. Looked like the one just got a nick of him there on the backstretch on lap 63. And I tell you, Chad Cole probably taking a big breather here. He's back on the bubble here, guys. John, you got more on that E-Wine?
Yeah, let's cue this up, guys. See if we can see what happened here. Thought we was going to take this all the way to the checker flag, but I guess not. These guys have been battling really, really hard all race long, and there's a lot of wiggle, a lot of air shifting here, we like to call it. These guys just trying to find the air. It looks like the 84 and the 1, is that the 1 car in the center there? It looks like they just collect each other, guys. There just wasn't enough room, the 3-wide situation, and then the 84, that's North. He was running really good at the beginning of this race, guys. He's been really strong since coming to Real Sim Racing, and wow.
Yeah, that's a tough rate there, John, for a lot of those guys running in the top 10, cracking the top 10 there, and then behind you saw the 18 of, I believe that's Bobby. Is that Bobby Terrell? Yeah, that's Bobby Terrell, the 18 car, that black Mid-South Chevrolet that got tangled up in the wreck as well. So, Devin, it'll be interesting to see here if anybody comes down pit road other than the guys that's got a little damage. As you see, the 27, who's leading, doesn't come down.
Yeah, man, just looking up here, it looks like the 27 to 33, of course they're going to stay out, but it looks like maybe the 1 car might have been one of the only guys that could maybe get up and challenge at 27 to 33. I'm not sure the extent of the 1 car's damage, but if you look back at last week's results, we got a lot of new players here at Daytona. That's kind of what happens when you get to the Super Speedway. They call this place the Great Equalizer, Michael.
Yeah, great equalizer indeed. Dakota, the 19 RC Rigdon running 5th. He came down pit road.
Yeah, guys, just I believe 2 tires on that car, and then they're topping off with fuel just to make sure he can make it to the end, Michael.
I tell you, RC Rigdon, that's going to put him back in 14th here, guys. That's the last person on the lead lap. And I tell you, who's got to be licking their chops right now, and that's the number 17 car of Chad Cole. Devin, you mentioned he got a little squirrely. Lost the draft there, and that's going to set him up here nicely with about 15 to go.
Yeah, the 17 looks like he's going to be lined up with the 22, Ronnie Potts, who we know is fast, so he's like he's in pretty good shape here. It looks like we're going to have about 13, 14 laps to go.
Yeah, I tell you, we're going to try to work our magic here and get Guy Snyder in the booth. He is running for first position right now, and I believe I just heard him. We got the connection. Guy Snyder, this is Mike Keaton up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4, Mike, I got you.
Tell you what, you looking good up there, Guy Snyder, and I tell you, that 27 machine and 33 of David Lanza checking out before that caution. For you probably hate to see it, but for the rest of the guys, I think that's going to shape up for a good ending here. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting scattered reports of what happened right there, but, I mean, I heard it was a big wreck, and then I think there were some melees under yellow, so I think me and David still got a good chance. But, yeah, it was a real heartbreaker. I kind of just wanted to sort it out between me and David. We had that lead. We got real lucky. People got together, and we got that lead, and that was so exciting.
I tell you what, guy, you got David Lanza sitting 12th in points right now. Not too bad. He's just a position off of that bubble there, being in 11th, and that's R.J. Williams, Landon Huffman racer there. But to tell you, Guy, you're running 3rd in points right now, 37 back, just 4 off Chad Cole. You think you got something to finish this race?
Yeah, I think both of them are still good. So I mean, anything can happen here. You can go from way back to, you know, to the lead. But really, just hoping if I don't get the win, David gets it, because he really doesn't need it, but it would really give him a chase berth. He would get a wild card. Probably he'd be in position, so that would be kind of neat. So either way, if one of us would finish 1-2, it would be great.
I tell you what, if you guys could get hooked back up, and you could probably take right off again the 75. Landon Huffman sitting behind you, R.J. Williams in that Landon Huffman racing team. So you got a group of guys here behind you, starting in that row number 2, who's been at this a while, who's teammates. Does that have any kind of impact on what you and Lanza do here at the restart?
No, I mean, they're all just numbers and cars back there. Of course, Landon and RJ, now you point that out, they're going to work together, and they're tough to beat anywhere. So, but Lanza, he's becoming the super speedway guru here on the non-televised races. So I'm in good hands for sure.
All right, guys. Now we're going to throw the line down to Dakota. He's got something for you.
Guy, I don't know, but I was hearing from your team that one of your guys is having a possible ignition problem or some electrical problems. Are you guys concerned at all on your side of the team there?
No. All the connections seem good. I would really hope that didn't happen. I wasn't getting those reports. I guess they wanted to keep my blood pressure under 1,000. So thanks for pointing that out. But I think we'll be fine as far as mechanical.
I tell you, Guy, running first right now. The lights on that pace car just went out. He's probably going to shift that bad boy into 2nd gear here to get it cruising for the restart. Guy, good luck, sitting 3rd in points. Hope I didn't jinx you, but good luck tonight, Guy.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Tell you, Devin, it's always nice to get a driver up in the booth here with us. It's always fun for the fans, and I know for sure for them to get up and get talked to. And we try not to get in their heads a little bit, and that's why we kind of let them go early right there as we did in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, the 27 to 33 have done an awesome job all race long, especially on the last restart. I think it was about 20 laps or something on that run. I mean, they just pulled away from the field, and they could not catch them. So I'm sure the 27 33 are going to try and do it again. Not sure if they're going to be able to, but it's going to be pretty interesting last 13 laps.
I tell you what, we're going to do a crank it up on the restart. So guys at home, if you got that surround sound or that Sound Blaster 16.0 speaker system, go ahead and crank that bad boy up. We're going to get it on the green flag here, but real quick, Dakota Ehrman got something on Chad Cole, who's running in that number 6 position.
Yeah, guys, what I was talking about, his teammate having some problems. They believe Chad Cole was having an ignition box problem, and they had to reset the box or change boxes, or one of the two. They were saying something going on with that car. That is why he lost the draft. They believe they have solved the problem, and he will be competitive again.
That's from the Chad Cole crew in that DeWalt Chevrolet. He's always fast, sitting real nice in points. And I tell you, get those speaker volumes up, baby. We're going cranking live here at Daytona International Speedway. You're watching ETV Live. right, you got the Huffman boys on the outside. That's the 75, Devin, of Landon Huffman, and the 21 of R.J. Williams on the outside. Can they do it, Devin?
Yeah, the 75 and the 21, they played it safe most of the race, and we got 12 laps to go. It's time to show your muscle, and the points leader is definitely showing what he's all about. He's battling for the lead at Daytona.
And I tell you who's kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place here just a second behind is Ronnie Potts. He's got no drafting help as Chad Cole and the 26 of the Navy machine, Jonathan Cadell, work to the outside of the 22. But coming to the line will be 11 to go here at Daytona, Devin.
That 75 trying to draw even with the 27. He can't. That 33 is just such a good pusher. The 27, 33 work so well together. The 75 and the 21 just can't seem to muster anything on the outside, but I'm sure they'll get there.
The front four guys, they're only able to do 202, but guess who's doing 204? Chad Cole in the DeWalt car, coming out of 205 miles an hour, rocketing down the backstretch. They're going to push for 3 wide possibly here, or maybe just settle back down as the 75 and 21 go high.
They are 3 wide per second. Here comes the 21 to make the switch with the 75. The 26 is now off the 17. 27 and the 33 are still together, but the 33 is peeking his nose as all 6 cars, all 6 leaders are now disconnected. 10 to go at Daytona. It's crunch time, baby.
10 to go. 21 R.J. Williams coming off a win at Kentucky, looking for a double back-to-back here at Daytona. Can he do it? He's working with Landon Huffman on the outside. That's 26 and 17, separated by 2 car lengths. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 33, 27 of Guy Snyder out front. Crunch time at Daytona.
That 27 and that 33 are trying to hold their own, but the 21 and 75, no, it is go time at Daytona. The 17 looks underneath. He's holding his own by himself. 26 trying to get with him, but it looks like the bottom 4 are all disconnected. The 21 and the 75 have a huge run off turn 4, Michael.
Back in the back in 8th position, Bobby Terrell, Jimmy North, and Knight. Don't know if they can work the magic to get back up for the front with 9 to go.
Now the leaders single file. It's 21 and the 75 hold the double yellow line. They will not move off of it the rest of the race. The 27 to 33 are disconnected. The 17 to 26 are disconnected. 21 and 75 pulling away down the back straightaway.
I tell you, 21 R.J. Williams telling that baby to hunt in 3. Landon Huffman right behind him, going to give the 21 all the room in the world to win. He's looking for a back-to-back winning spree. Won last week at Kentucky. In the front here at Daytona, coming out of 3. But Guy Snyder, David Lanza hooked up. Behind them, Chad Cole's monster DeWalt machine hooked up with Jonathan Cadell in the Navy car as they work their way through lap traffic into 1.
Now the leaders will make the switch. With 8 laps to go, you'll probably only see about 1 more switch. Probably with the 75 and the 21. The 27 darts to the outside. That's going to leave his partner on the outside without him. 27 squeezes the 21 down the back straightaway. 75 keeping his nose out front.
Oh, but a bad move on the 27 there, though. Guy Snyder left a teammate behind him. That allowed Chad Cole to sneak in. The 21 might have just blown up, guys. No, he's still in it. Just got loose here and just got loose to 21 machine, making it exciting with 7 to go. Caution, Devin. Caution on the Speedway.
Caution is out here at Daytona. Not sure what happened, but it looks like we're probably going to have about a 1 or 2 lap showdown to settle it.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. Chad Schilling eating the wall. Taking a little bit more, John, than a souvenir.
Yeah, let's cue this up, see what happens, guys. We're kind of expecting a real late caution here, and we're going to get it with Chad Schilling. They're working outside here, guys, taking it 3 wide here, and this is where the problem's going to come in. They're going to come into this corner here, 3 wide, 2 deep, 25. Oh, just a bad bump draft here, guys.
John, that's all it takes here. Devin, just a bad bump here, and that's what does it. And I tell you, 25, Chad Schilling taking more than a souvenir home with him tonight, huh?
Oh yeah, they came up on those lap cars, it really wasn't a bad bump. When they came up on that slow car, they had to get out of the gas, and I guess the guy behind him did not get the memo, evidently, that there were some lap cars out there. So the lap car was going at least 30 miles per hour slower than the pack, and there's just nothing you can do there. And while we were focusing up front, looking at the replay, they were racing pretty dang hard back there from about 8th on back.
I'm going to tell you, I'm enjoying this Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series event here tonight at Daytona. These guys getting it done, and I tell you again, I'm going to step out on the ledge. If you're looking for a good group of guys to run with on Monday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, it's these guys, RSR. Look them up, Real Sim Racing.
Definitely. I've had a blast out here. Even with the technical difficulties, these boys put on a show. Lap cars have been pretty respectful. Leaders racing hard. Hard but clean. That's the thing right there.
Yeah, RealSimRacing.com is these guys' website. Excellent league, Devin, to get involved in. I tell you, R.J. Williams making it exciting earlier. I thought he blew up for a minute. He lit up so much, but getting word that he got loose there. But he was pushing Landon for more than he was worth, and I figured he was redlining that sucker. And I tell you, Dakota's got a little bit more of information about the deal with Snyder and R.J. Williams.
Yeah, guys, when I believe it was R.J. Williams became disconnected, when he tried to go up, and it was like he tried to go up and cut off the 27 of Guy Snyder. Guy Snyder is not very happy with that machine right now. He's kind of upset with the driver, and I would hate to see some retaliation here, but it is possible, guys.
John?
Yeah, guys, I forgot to tell you, I forgot to make my pick in the beginning of the race, but I'm going to pick Guy Snyder now in that 27, okay? Not too late, is it?
Not too late at all, John. I was just thinking the same thing. Who am I going to pick? I'm going to pick the old DeWalt yellow 17 machine of Chad Cole. John's got Guy Snyder there. Devin?
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to go with the car in 6th place. David Lanza has been working with the 27. It looks like those boys are going to have just enough laps to get hooked back together. They've been working together all race, so I see no reason why they're going to hook up. Dakota?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to have to agree with Michael Keaton. This is a rare event, and I'm going to agree with Michael Keaton. Watch out for that 17 car. Chad Cole.
I'm going to get a word in this since everybody else picking picks. All I've had to eat down here is popcorn. You guys up there got brownies. Even Dakota got to go up there and get some brownies a while ago. I'm going to go with R.J. Williams in the 21. He's running 3rd.
Cookies, Ben. Cookies.
Cookies, excuse me.
I tell you, Ben, I've mentioned it twice already. Going to mention it one time. Really going to give this guy his credit. This dude, R.J. Williams, coming off a huge victory at Kentucky, edging out his teammates, edging out the rest of the field here there at Kentucky. Now he's trying to plug one here away at Daytona. Not a track easy to win at, Devin. I mean, this track is easy to race, but not so easy to win at. I mean, you got to really be in the right position, if you will, at the right time. And looks like there's 5 to go here. Light's still not off on the pace car here. But I tell you, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and you're watching ETV Live on the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series Racing Series. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. As the things start to wind down here, guys, looks like we're going to have about a 3-lap shootout here, get this thing to the checkered flag. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, MTCO gaming servers, from the battlefield of World War II to the castles of the Crusades, auto racing, football, baseball, you name it, Cowboy. If it's an online game, it's probably hosted on an MTCO gaming server. Your first best solution to hosting world-class competition starts with MTCO gaming servers. Dedicated server box, no sharing, no contract, no setup fees, no bandwidth limitations, and best of all, Cowboy, no BS. $49 a month. MTCO.com. Let's go back to the booth. Michael Keaton, Devin Smirker.
Welcome back, folks. If you haven't chose your winner yet, please do that. Big Mouth, Brandon Webb, Coop, Mama D, Ripper, Scott B. We've all picked who we want to win. You pick who you think will win. And Devin, 3 to go at the line this time. 75 right now, getting it done in that blue and orange Huffman racing machine. Outside him, Guy Snyder.
Yeah, looking at everyone up here, half of these guys have been up there all race, half of them laid back, and half of them make their way up. So the pace car is going to work his way down pit road. It's going to be settled between Huffman, Snyder, Williams, Cole, Lance, Cadell, Terrell, and Potts here at Daytona. Pace car to pit road, green flag in the air, 3 laps to go.
Landon Huffman with a beautiful start, taking 21 right behind him on his back door. Guy Snyder falls in quickly with Chad Cole. That's someone he'd like to get hooked up with. David Lanza in 5th, trying to get hooked up with Jonathan Goodell. And Ronnie Potts, Bobby Terrell, Jimmy North, Tony Kaler, R.C. Rigdon, and Bruce Perry all on the lead lap here. Anybody's game can win.
You gotta think that the 17 knows that maybe the 27 and the 33 are looking for each other. The leaders are disconnected. The 27's coming to the outside with a big push from the 17. The 33 is all over the 17, coming to 2 laps to go there, side by side for the lead at Daytona. It's gonna get wild, Michael.
That's the 3-car tandem. How long can it work, Devin? The 33 switching to the bottom, going back to the top, wanting to go whichever line works. And now it's the 27 to the lead. The 17 now outside with the 33.
Not sure I'm a fan of that move by the 27 that dropped down low in front of those Huffman cars. That's going to allow the 17 and the 33 to push in front. Do you think that maybe the 33 is going to drop in line, maybe try and drop in line as the 21 gets loose and saves it? Do you think that maybe the 33 is going to drop in line behind the 27 and get the push by the 17 on the white flag?
Not sure, but last week's winner, Kentucky at Kentucky 21, R.J. Williams not going to be able to win it here tonight. He gets a little loose there. Coming to 1 to go here. Chad Cole in the lead. David Lanza sitting in 2nd.
The white flag is out here at Daytona. The 17 and the 33 are ahead of the pack, but the 27 and the 75 have the run into turn 1. Do they make the move to the outside?
They're tucked in deep right behind them here. Devin, as we see, 75, 26. Looks like David Lanza played a little let-off game there, coming out of 2.
Watch that 33 to go high and that 27 to go with them. They've worked together all night. I called that 33 to win it. He's in the catbird seat right now. 75 all over the 27 into turn 3 for the final time, Michael.
David Lanza looking to the outside on that number 17 D-Walk car. He looks like he's got the position, Devin. 27 pushing him out of 4.
The 33 gets the push from the 27 and the 33 is going to take it home. David Lanza wins at Daytona.
I tell you what, and Guy Snyder there to push him to the lead, push him to the win. 33, David Lanza. And I tell you, we talked to Guy Snyder in the race, and I tell you, he said no more deserving than that number 33, David Lanza. So David Lanza, congratulations, brother. Great win, great victory there for that number 33 crew. As the 17 of Chad Cole comes and gives him a little, good racing rub. Tire mark on the outside there.
Michael Keaton, did I not tell you that the 33 is going to win this race?
You sure did, Devin. I tell you, that guy was smoking, wasn't he?
Who would have thought that the 6th place car would end up winning? When you think that maybe they wouldn't swap, but somehow we got in front of that 27, and I called it. He was in the catbird seat right there, as it looks like the 33 and 27 are going to do, I think that's 21. Not sure what he's doing, but the 33 and 27 are going to do burnouts with each other. That's how you do teammates right there, Michael.
I tell you, the 33 and 27 having a good old time there and there on the front stretch, John. Hope you're getting every bit of that. But A great race by these guys. But I tell you, David Lanza and Guy Snyder worked really well together this afternoon, Devin.
And if I'm looking at it here, it looks like teammates finished 1, 2, 3 tonight at Daytona. That's how you do it right there, Michael.
Yeah, the 33 of David Lanza, again, on that #1 position. 27, Guy Snyder finishing second. Chad Cole third. Jonathan Condell with a solid 4th place finish. He was all over it tonight. Landon Huffman finishing 5th. Ronnie Potts in there with a 6th place finish. Jimmy North 7th. RC rigged in that 19 Lime Green Machines sits 8th. Finishing 9th is Bobby Terrell, and 10th belonged to R.J. Williams, last week's winner at Kentucky. He got a little loose coming there off of one of those turns, Devin, and that pretty much ended his night. And that's your top 10, and we're going to be right back after this commercial with your post-race.
That was beautiful.
All right, welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Under the lights, a real sim racing full throttle Cup Series. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, it's checkered flag time. Let's take it back up to the booth with Michael Keaton and Devin Smirker.
That's right. JD standing here with David Lanza, your race winner. David starting 33rd, finishing 1st. Wow, tell us about your night.
Hey, go figure. 33rd, car number 33. That's cool. Hey, I couldn't have done it without Chad or Guy. Those got to be the best teammates ever. We hooked up on that restart, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to stay behind them because usually the 3 cars just don't work, but we hooked up and we went. So, beautiful thing, huh?
Hey, David, what about me? I picked you tonight.
Oh, well, great.
No, David, we had Devin and John picked you tonight at 33 Budweiser Chevrolet to the front.
You don't say. Well, I'm glad you guys didn't tell me.
Yeah, and I tell you, David, we had Guy Snyder in here in the booth during one of those cautions, and I tell you, he said, what more of a deserving guy to win it tonight than David Lanza, and I tell you, pushed you to the victory, but it wasn't easy. You restarted 6th. That's what Devin was screaming. Restarting 6th, finishing 1st. I tell you, David, can't be any more probably happier than with yourself than you've probably ever been before. So I congratulate you.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, no, this is great. First win in the Cup. It just feels great. I can't believe it. Like I said, best teammates in the world, Chad and Guy. Wouldn't have done it without them.
10-4. I tell you, David Lanza, guys, sitting in 12th in the points, not too far from the bubble in the 11th. They're possibly cracking the top 10 here in the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series to get into that qualification round. David Lanza, your race winner, and I'm going to send it down to Devin. He's standing by with Guy Snyder.
Hey guys, this is Devin up in the booth. Check here. Hey guys, this is Devin up in the booth. First of all, congratulations on a great run. You and the 27 and the 33 are hooked up all race long. Tell us a little bit about what it took to stay up there.
Oh man, so much, man. there's so much going on, so much I'd like to talk about, but I mean, it was really easy with Lonzo, man. He's like I said on my interview, he's a super speedway guru. He's really turned into one here. I don't know how many wins he's collected in all the other series here. So, I mean, literally, he definitely is yeah, as good or better than me here.
Yeah, you qualified back in the pack. It looks like all of you were wrecked there at the start, and then you ended up finishing 1, 2, 3. I mean, what did it take to get up there? Did you take any pit strategy, or did you just straight up work your way through the field with your teammates?
Me and Lonzo were on the same routine. We didn't pit on that first yellow, and that really got us in the top 10, and we stayed there from then on. But Chad Cole took a different route altogether, and I mean, it wasn't that bad. I actually missed qualifying because I was getting a hot dog and I didn't know it was my turn to go. So and then my teammate Lonza, he decided to forfeit his run to stay back there so we could work together, and it kind of worked out.
All right, man. Well, that's your second place finisher, Guy Snyder. Teammates to the extreme. They bring it home 1, 2, 3. Let's throw it down to Ben. He's standing by with Chad.
Yeah, I'm down here with Chad Cole, your third place finisher tonight, and one of the craziest finishes I've seen in a while. Chad Cole, walk us through that last lap.
Oh well, the last lap just crazy, just trying to hold the bottom, you know. And I knew guy was going to push Dave there. That's the plan. We needed to get David a win to get him into the chase, and it couldn't be a better guy, you know. It's just, like Guy said, he's a super speedway guru. I didn't really have race didn't really plan out as I thought. I had Nate Bowers start off with as a pusher, and he got involved in a wreck and ended up picking up John Cadell there, and that caution at the end kind of got us mismatched, and I was able to push Guy, and that was a weird 3 laps right there.
You had some ignition problems down the back straightaway, just past halfway, rebounded. Walk us through your rebound, getting up through the field and getting to where you finished.
Yeah, that was just completely unexpected. The engine cut out going down the back straight. Luckily, I was able to switch boxes and get it fired again, get hooked up with John Cadell, and got a quick caution actually right after that, so we got bunched up and just able to pick our way through the field, get there at the end.
Well, you finished there, did a great job. Who are you going to thank tonight?
Oh, got to thank Nate Bowers, working with him, John Cadell, and of course Lanza and Snyder there working with us. Great teammates.
All right, that's great. Chad Cole, your third place finisher. Now, JD doesn't have his mouth full of those cookies and brownies up there. I think I'm going to send it back up to him.
All right, what a night of racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Real sim racing, full throttle Cup Series. And I'll tell you something, Cowboy, it was full throttle here tonight. 205 miles an hour going off into turn 1. But hey, there's a whole lot more racing coming your way. Let's start it off with Thursday night. You don't want to miss this one. Motor State 250 starts at 8:20 Eastern. You want to catch that right here live on ETV Live, then move it on over to Friday night. Friday night showdown, New Hampshire Cowboy, 8:30 Eastern, right here live on ETV Live. Saturday night, some more racing from New Hampshire with Enough World. So you can catch that at 8 p.m. here on ETV Live as well. And then on Sunday night, let me tell you something, Cowboy. If you like playing in the dirt, catch the USAC Midgets at 9:30 p.m. on Sunday nights right here on ETV Live. So for all the boys up here in the booth, that's going to be Michael Keaton, Devin Smirker, Dakota Ehrman, Ben Kilcrease, John the Bad Boy Wrestling, working those magic figures for you tonight on the cameras from Daytona International Speedway. We'll catch you next time.